are an amazing God. And Lord, we ask that you would forgive us for any sins that we've committed, anything that we've done that was not pleasing in your sight, any offense that we may have caused to anyone created in the image and likeness of you, God. And Lord, we ask that on today that you would guide our lips and let our mind and our mouth and our heart be in alignment. Father God, I pray that what we speak will add and edify to the lives of those who hear. And Father God, I pray that we don't say anything that is offensive to those who are up close and personal to the Blake family and the situation. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
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 Yeah.
All right.
So I am Dewana, the corporate type.
Mhm.
I am Mocha, saving about that life, the kingdom life, the physical and spiritual life. Say so.
I am Bentley, purpose and passion. Hello.
And I am Barbara, the boss.
And
With
And
we
we
are
are
The
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 walk
walk
of
of
life.
life.
That was a delay. That was so slow. The walls of life.
we out of sync. We ain't been together in a month.
Come on.
Let's get cracking. What's our topic for today,
All
Doc?
right. Another man having endured 7 shots in his back by our white police officer. Here we go again, y'all. What are you all feeling? Let's start with Barb the boss. When you heard about Jacob Blake and what transpired in our home state, Wisconsin, in Kenosha, what are you
Nowhere.
feeling?
Well, I'm tired of marching. Uh, I'm tired of having peaceful rallies. I'm tired of being insulted by, the political situations where, they trying to visit the family, and there's nothing being done. I'm sick of it. And I don't want to be discouraging to the people that march or anything, but it's like we need to do something else. Like, there's no laws changing, but everybody visiting the family like they concerned, but there's nothing being done to actually change. So they gonna pay out the family possibly, and what? But the people that's doing these things aren't gonna be prosecuted. Like,
Wow.
why does that keep happening?
You try to pay us off, huh?
Yeah, and then I, I just don't want it to be one of my sons. That's my biggest thing.
Yeah.
Like, regardless if you're doing it right or wrong, you still get prosecuted. They say let the law do the job, but the law isn't saving anyone or doing anything to help us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so at what point do we realize that being peaceful and just being heard is not enough? Something needs to be done.
Mm.
All right.
That's
Wow.
I hear your sentiments, sister. We're going to
Yeah.
pass the mic to Purpose and Passion here. Now you heard now this is happening in our own backyard here, because Kenosha ain't but 45 minutes away. and what were you thinking when you heard the news of another black man being shot by police officers?
Well, just to be honest, I'm never surprised when I hear it.
Wow.
I'm usually surprised at, how it took place or what happened, the details of it. But just to hear another black person was shot by the police, I'm never surprised when I hear that. But I'm going to agree 110% with you, Bob. When you say, the peaceful protest, I think, we've gotten to a point. I know when we talked about the NFAC, right, I was saying how if I could, I would become a member, because there has to be a resolution. And if this peaceful protesting and marching, all of that is not getting it, we're rallying, we're voting, we're pushing
Right.
our people out to vote, but still there's no change. That when I saw it, Um, I did. I rewinded a whole lot. I was just like, wow.
Right.
But something in me, I think there was something in me that said, why is he still walking? Why is he still walking? What is he thinking is going to
Right.
happen? Why are you resisting? Why are you not stopping? What is the problem? Because see, we often see it for what it looks like, but what it really is, honey, you know the police. We know the police. We don't agree with the way that the police are operating. So if the police got a gun drawn in your back, you don't keep walking like you don't hear them or see them. I don't. It's not justified, no matter what he did. Still, but it's something in my brain cannot understand. Why were you still walking? Why were you still walking? And so, because we got to know we're educating our kids that when they learn how to talk about the police and how to respond and how so a grown man, that was a poor display to me of what he was doing. And then
Little Romeo, get out the way.
and then little Romeo,
Little Romeo.
you know what, Barb? You hear your cousin? She called my baby little Romeo. Look at Barb. You hear me?
Little Romeo.
That's those were some of the things that once I saw it.
I think you're freezing up on us.
Yeah, I was kind of going in like a robot, but that's I think for me, I'm never surprised. I'm not surprised anymore. I just kind of like wait to be filled in on the details. What happened?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, yeah.
Mocha.
Woo.
Can I just do one little comment?
Not only did it hit to come to our backyards, it hit like on some doors to a point to where y'all seen I drove over there. It really hit home. There were so many speculations about what happened, what led up to it, and like you said, Bentley, rewinding it over and over, seeing him walking away. It could have went different, but to shoot a man in his back 7 times, unarmed,
no excuse,
unarmed, and said he's going to the car to get a knife, but you shot him in his back 7 times. And not only that, in front of his children. And once again, we should just be quiet, like Bob and Bentley said, and just march, and then y'all would give us a $12 million. How y'all want just gave Breonna Taylor's family just pay us off, right? Because y'all think all we want is money anyway.
That's a good question, though. Do you think he's gonna receive some kind of compensation?
I was just gonna say, as I hear each one of you talk about, what your initial thoughts were. I was going to bring up Breonna Taylor and how she's gotten the largest settlement of this.
Her mom,
her family.
Mm-hmm.
See, they, as Mocha was alluding to, $12 million settlement from the city of Louisville, or however they say it down there. They say it different.
Louisville.
No, it's not Louisville. They said Louisville.
It's Louisville.
There it is.
Yeah. A little extra
Louisville. Right.
Do you all think this family would want a settlement? Would they rather see the officers in jail or want a settlement?
They want their child back.
Look.
That money. I matter of fact, let y'all know. Tamika Mallory, one of the activists, has been on this case for Breonna. She did a live and a post, and I hopped on the scene. That money just for the moment. Every time they spend that money, they thinking about Breonna not here. Mm-hmm. There's never gonna be a peace. That money could never replace Breonna's life. Never. They could never, think, okay, it's peace now. It'll never be peace. It'll never be peace. Breonna is gone. What they did, $2 million can't do nothing for me over here. Like Bob said, my sons, 12 million. What's that? A life is gone.
Well, her
life was priceless.
They're doing some changes. They're doing some police changes, changing up some common practices and safeguards.
I know, but it's kind of like being at the job. You at work, an accident happened. Then a job come in with the safety people, and they make all these changes and adjustments, and it lasts for about 2 or 3 weeks,
Come on.
and then we're right back to the same situation.
Come on.
I
That's
feel
exactly
sorry
what they do.
for I feel sorry for a lot of these families. You know, I hope I never have to experience it.
Amen.
But it's almost like the only thing they have is to get some money, because there's no justice for the situation of,
Exactly.
there's no justice. Like, I don't understand these cops. I mean, make some kind of, they break the rules so to the extreme of poor judgment or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and they get suspended with pay. Like, and the families is stuck with hospital bills,
Yep.
The
being off
grieving.
work,
Exactly.
and I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all know all the way to death don't stop them bills from coming.
It's the truth.
So they get the convenience of, especially when it's blatant, like when, okay, the body camera saying that you acted irrational, they don't get fired. They don't, okay, suspend them with no pay. Let them feel the pain.
Right.
So what changes how they're gonna do it again? Like, they gonna keep doing it. And I'm not just talking about white officers. I'm talking about all the officers that is dirty
Come on.
and no good.
Right.
Officers
So,
are
Let's
blue.
take their
They're not
badge
black or
and their
white.
blue
They are
uniforms
blue.
and come
right.
and come to our
So,
hood and see how this feel then without your badge
I
and your blue
mean,
uniform.
why, they never feel threatened. Um, they're never under any stress or, okay, so
Wait, wait,
if,
wait,
if
wait. Are you talking about the police officers never feel
I,
threatened?
I'm talking about the police officers. You do something horrible to a person, they can see it blatantly on their body cams
Right.
or on a video, and they get suspended with pay. Come on now.
Just a slap on the hand,
It,
huh?
it ain't even no slap. You getting paid. You being off to be paid. So you
Well,
still
what you
all
say?
your
A pat on
bills.
the back, pretty much, then, huh? You even have to
Man,
say it
I don't even
that
call it.
way.
No, you just getting 2 weeks of vacation or however many weeks of vacation until they investigate it. So how many officers has been charged? The only time it seemed to me that officers actually get charged is when we start to tear things up. Like, we start to burn down things. We start to cost the government big money. So now it's like, okay, so let's fire him, let's charge him, or
Right.
firing is not enough. We need to charge him with something, because
Mm-hmm.
firing only
Little
means
Romeo, go on.
firing or um them being able to resign means they can
Mm-hmm.
just go to another state and work.
Then to add insult to injury, regarding back to Jacob, paralyzed in the hospital bed with handcuffs. Okay,
Because he had a
Yeah.
warrant.
paralyzed waist down, and then you go and do that too. Then on the media, some saying he deserved it. Maybe he don't learn a lesson now. Isn't
because
that
of
something?
the cases that they have pending against him. They were saying that he raped a child, but apparently he had broken into someone's house that he had been messing with, broke into, and she said when she woke up, his hands was in her panties, and he had his finger in there, supposedly saying, whose is this and who been up in there, took off with her debit card and her card. So there was that's a pending charge against him. And so people are saying, oh, he deserves it. Nobody deserves that. I don't care what you do. Nobody deserves that. I still think, going back to, will he get that money? Absolutely. I believe that the state is going to award that man money, because, again, it's like being in a car accident. If you get hit from behind, whose fault is it? Even if you say he was going for a knife, like, will you let him walk all the way around the car to get to the door to open it to get it? So whatever the situation was, there's no way you could justify what happened. So
They
you
never
have to
felt
try to
threatened.
rectify it
And
with,
you're right,
like,
Barb. They never felt threatened.
never.
They didn't. Right.
Yeah. Well, how could you? He was walking. You were behind
I
him.
was just gonna say, and looking at that video, y'all, I've been
And he was outnumbered. I'm sorry.
and
Right.
looking at that video, he shouldn't have been able to. I mean, he was responding to or helping. They were saying he was helping a domestic situation.
Right, right.
Um, you don't see the other side, like the video I seen. You don't see the other side. You see him walking around, but what happened on the other side?
Right. What happened? Because we don't really know. We
I
only get to
said,
know so much. Let me see.
I don't know if it's rumors, but they were saying that the police were beating him up and stuff. That's what caused him,
Oh
I guess, to
wow.
get ready and leave. So, but I
Mhm.
don't quote me on that.
They
That's
said
Oh,
they
just
got into
like,
a scuffle.
because I
Right.
didn't,
They were
right
scuffling.
before, and then the video started after he started walking around the car. So, maybe he felt like, okay, since I'm trying to cooperate. I'm not
right.
sure, and I'm just quoting it. This is don't put this in stone. Um, that okay, well, no, I'm not gonna let y'all kill me because just prior to this, they just killed another man
Yeah.
when he was handcuffed on the ground,
Right.
and then he still got smothered. So you
Yeah.
know. I don't know. I'm almost out of words because it's like this just keep happening. It's happening to our men.
Mm-hmm.
You
It
know,
is.
the ones that they don't have in jail already, you killing them for no reason, a traffic stop or, you know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
not saying everybody good or everybody bad, but at some point, like, when are y'all gonna pay for being reckless? The police, I'm saying. When are they gonna pay for being reckless? I know sometimes that they have to act a little bit more, because I don't work their job and I do understand the fear, but at the same time, they also apply for it.
But
So at
again,
some point,
go ahead, Bert. Oh.
at some point, when stuff is really not questionable and it's right there, no, you can't dispute that, and they need to be charged, and
They
see what it
do.
feel like, because
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
this is just getting so ridiculous. And
It
then we
is.
only hear about probably a tenth or a third. Can
I
you
think that.
imagine how often this is happening?
Mm-hmm.
And we're not hearing all the stories because, it's probably thousands. But
Oh,
we get these ones around election time. When it's something in the media moving, we get
Yeah.
is in heightened, but that's taken away from all those other families whose story is not being told. Like I had a picture on Facebook where it was like all these people that have been killed by the police. It was like 2 pages, like
Wow.
just a picture of everyone. And they was all ages. It was just overwhelming.
That's something.
I think there should be a law for police officers that kill. And I understand that there's a way, they have to protect themselves. You get that part. But for someone who blatantly walks behind someone and shoot and kill, or even, the joggers, or just, all of these random, the way that they're murdering our people, there should be some sort of law. Because if you have not been attacked or physically injured by the party that you killed, I think there should be some sort of law to say you too are now a murderer because you're not protecting and serving. At that point, when it no longer feels like you're protecting us, but you're killing us off, it's just murder. If there's no physical evidence, there's no, like you can't say, oh, somebody lunged at me. Oh, I thought I saw a gun. There needs to be something that says, okay, I was really in fear of my safety for my life, that I had to take another life. But I'm sure that won't happen. But there should be a law. Yeah. For
It's
the
sad.
it is sad.
So, do you all think we should defund police department?
Yeah. What they doing anyway? Killing us.
No,
I
I
wouldn't go that far
disagree
Well,
as
the
with
saying
that.
police
I
department
wouldn't
gets
defund
a
them.
huge budget from all of our tax dollars.
Say that again.
The police system that we have right now gets a huge budget of our tax paying dollars. So when they say defund policing, they mean taking money back, reallocating it somewhere else.
I would reallocate it, but I'd still, you need your law. You need a parent, obviously authority is there for a reason. So we need authority and position. But I wouldn't be paying them an arm and a leg if if there's no laws to stop them from being lawless, because they do whatever they want to do. They don't have to. It seems as though they don't have to answer to anyone unless they get to, oh, we got 3 and 4 bodies on me. Okay, now, okay, I might look like a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would absolutely. I mean, it's hard to say defund them because we don't know what that would.
Well, defund them because one, they don't know how to handle mental health. There was a situation way before George Floyd where the family called because their son was having a mental health problem. And police came, they saw him, he was complying, and he died.
There was another incident where the young man, he had an accident. He was in a car accident a week earlier, and they said that after the accident, he had been, like, you could tell he had some kind of brain trauma. He was a college student, a 4.0 student, but after the accident, they said the police were called to the apartment where he was, and he was just kind of like losing it. They thought that he did have some brain injury trauma, but the police, instead of trying to calm him down, they gunned him down. They killed that man.
My second oldest nephew, they were doing a video shoot with his with his people for their video, for their music. And the police happened to come to the neighborhood. They're in a really decent neighborhood, a little farther out, for the video shoot at their location. Police ride up on them on their bicycles. Matter of fact, it happened last month. My nephew, because here's some black men, black boys doing a video. The camera guy, I think, was Caucasian. They minding their business, doing their video. But because he got nervous and he became paranoid, he ran. And when he ran, because out of this, he had no trouble with the law. He took off running. He came back to the scene. Cuff was still there, and so now when our family seen him, I said, "Why'd you run? You had already got away. Why'd you come back to the scene?" He said these words: "I didn't want them to find me and kill me because I had ran off by myself. So I came back. So if they did try to harm me, they will harm me in front of my people." And that's bad that our black sons and men have to think like that. That when I see you ride up, I'm automatically, a target to you. Automatically a target now to you. And that's bad. They have to think like that. Mm-hmm. So, my thing was to him, don't run. They don't run. They're still a target. You feel me? So it's like, it's bad.
Well,
I'm like Bob, y'all. I'm sick of it. It's depressing at some point. Like, come on now.
It is.
It's a depressing, anxiety, all kinds of stuff play a role in this. It's really interesting because they passed a law that if somebody OD, the person who was doing drugs with them or got the drugs get charged too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, so that's causing people to not call the ambulance or something if somebody pass out. Now, that is interesting that they passed this law, but they won't pass a law for something to prosecute officers for carelessness.
Right.
It's good officers, don't get me wrong, because I'm not really trying to bash everyone, but for the ones that is contaminated, they need to be gotten rid of. Just like at your job, any job, like people will say, you don't know an officer job. We don't, but we do know which ones is good and bad when you work around them. So me, as the job that I work, I know who good workers, I know who lazy ones, I know, how, if you can prove it or not, whatever, but they pretty much know who's the hot heads and who's the ones that's
you're right.
So something could be done. Now what, I'm not really sure what that is, but if we don't start really talking about it, because marching about it is not getting us these laws changed or getting a law put in place for these officers. Like, your second offense, you really need to be investigated, especially if it's not no answers. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you need to be suspended with no pay.
That's right.
Especially on, you know, if it's anything that's very questionable, and if it keep happening with the same officer, how do an officer retire in 25 years if if he done had 5 deaths? Like, what's going on? Like,
Well, I think
if
what's going on is the central problem of this country is racial inequality. The presumption that all black are dangerous.
but black people aren't the only ones getting killed by the police for
Black
no
and
reason.
brown, black and minority.
Yeah,
It ain't
we're the
white people.
most, but I'm just saying this is not just happening to us as black people. It's white people losing their kids because the police are being reckless or feeling entitled. I don't even know what to say. That how they are feeling, that they feel like they could just take somebody's life and they're not doing anything. At what point are they pushed to the point where they're taking the law in their own hands?
Well, you got to think about too. Police officers, again, when I say they're blue, they're not black or white. They are trained, and it's like with any other job. Like you said, if you go and you study to become a clinical psychologist, when you're dealing with situations, you're going to go with the textbook response. You don't take it. You don't use your own brain. You use the textbook and how you were taught to respond. And that's what's happening with our police officers. They are not using the brain, the heart. They're going by how we're trained to respond.
Are
And
they even getting? Are they even getting ongoing trainings?
I mean, they
They
all
even
have to
go
go
over.
through the academy, but it's something how you can go from you could see the police officers in Milwaukee, Chicago, New York, California, Detroit, anywhere, and they all seem to be like the same. That's blue. That's not black and white. That's who they're trained to. It's like when I do training seminars, when I train the staff of St. Charles or Harmony Social Studies, all the people there, they are all trained the same. They think and respond via textbook, how they're trained to handle a situation.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So it's their training. I don't know how they're trained as officers, but I know for a fact that every one of them I've come in contact with, no matter where they are, they all seem the same. It's almost like, and no offense to anybody who has a Down syndrome child, but anybody who has a Down syndrome child, this child and that child across country look identical. They all look like they're, related. So it's something that they're taught that makes them respond the way that they do all around.
Oh,
All around. They're all responding the same. They're blue.
Well, they are responding the same because they're hiding under a badge of racism.
I think it's power. I think they get this power. I mean, my God, sometimes. What does Spider-Man say? With great power comes great responsibility. No one's taking the responsibility for their actions or what they're doing. They're killing up a community of people. And it's like, oh, well, I shot him in the back 7 times. I mean, he all right. He didn't die.
right? Just like
Well, I
that.
think they wanted him to die.
But you got to
Me
understand, they
too.
want you to die, so it's just one
Yes.
story. It's their story.
But now the story goes on. But you see what I'm saying? My God, though. It's so, yeah.
Did you
That
all
was
see
intense.
what he said from the bed? I mean, he made a statement saying, if he could take it back, that, he would totally do this all the way different.
He did.
Yeah. His statement was, and I hated to say it, but I'll keep my comment on that to myself. But yes, he made that statement, that it's not worth it, man, this, your life.
And what would they have done different?
Right. But he was trying to give a speech,
Well, I feel like this. He's under pressure.
Okay.
They want us to stop the violence. So yeah, every time they do a violent act and they get out of hand after the fact, now they want the person who's been hurt to try to say something to calm us. And it's not fair to him. Yeah, I'm sure he would have did something different because now he's looking at how he's going to be able to interact with his kids.
Right.
Yeah,
but they say he could walk again, even though he's in the chair now.
Amen.
But it doesn't matter to me what he'd have done. that
Right.
was going to happen to him because of the offers. There's officers that pulled him that showed up.
And
That
then they keep
So
responded.
showing the
that
officer as
so
if he's
it
like
would
the
have went
greatest
that way
guy, you
either
know.
way.
They keep showing this officer like he's this, I'm just this great guy, you know.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So like regardless to no telling if he'd have laid down, they probably would have killed him. He probably would have ended up dying. Him being shot made him have to back up and have somebody come in and help him. So
Mm.
and his will to survive was,
Yes.
sound like he come from a strong family, and from the display of his family
Yeah.
that been speaking and stuff, that he come from a strong knit
Yeah.
background foundation. So it give him the power to want to live.
Hey man, that's
So
good,
that's
right?
probably
Yeah.
what saved his life.
Mm.
You know, but it's so many of us that come from so much trauma that we don't have that will to live. But um, they need to stop this,
So
or the
They
people
do.
need to face judgment if you do a crime. And they did a crime because he
that's
was
right.
outnumbered,
Arrest the
regardless of
cops.
what his
Charge the
character
Period.
cops.
was.
Period. Period.
No,
Arrest the
yeah,
cop.
Period.
Try the cop.
Right.
Now you know,
Lawsuits
so
and money. No.
when we post the question about, will they get a settlement or should he get, absolutely. I mean, you got your kids that will forever. And
Oh my
I mean,
God, them
sometimes,
babies.
sometimes you can suppress something so that you don't even remember it, right? But when it comes to you, it's like the shock of it is like,
That was just trauma for
it's so
those babies.
intense. And there was 3 children in that car that
Yes.
to witness that. So
Yes.
first of all, how do I talk to my child about the police? What do I
Right.
say, to my child about the police? So this is a trauma that will probably be for a lifelong. Somebody owed me something. Somebody owed me something. Obviously you can't take the bullets out his back and give him his legs is the activity of his
Okay.
back, but somebody owe you something when now you have children that you don't know how long you're gonna have them in therapy. You don't
And
know
how
how long
and,
that's
and
gonna
how it's
happen.
gonna affect their livelihood as they
Um,
grow.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Nightmares, night terrors, using the bathroom in there. You know what I'm saying? Just all kind of things. Fear of dying, fear of the police, fear of being in the cars, fear of guns. This is the reality of what just took place. We don't think that far because all we can see is, man, he shot him in the back. But it was so many people affected. The women that
Yeah.
were standing out there
Oh,
screaming and
the
jumping up, and
the man.
all of the people
Yes,
that were
the
just
man.
affected.
The guy who recorded has already made a statement how it's affect his life. Not knowing it's gonna go down like that. He holding. Can you imagine
Absolutely.
holding the camera and you see
Absolutely.
live?
That's
Man.
why there should be some law. So if we cannot charge the police with murder, then we should be able to get some sort of some sort of law should be in place. Would say, okay, I'm traumatized by this. It's no different that if I came in your establishment, slipped and fell, and broke my ankle on your floor, that you owe me something because your floor was slippery and I fell and broke myself. So here, when you're dealing with the police and you're watching somebody, I'm just watching it, and then all of a sudden, I get to witness a horrific murder like that I'll never get to erase out of my brain. That was
Right.
first senseless, right? Because it was a senseless crime. Why would you shoot somebody like that for? But I get to witness that, and that's embedded in my brain. That's
well,
trauma. That's a
check this.
community. You're traumatizing a community of people.
Check
It's
this.
not just This is not just affecting you and Jacob Blake. I
Uh,
got
a
Man, check
people.
this
What you
out.
finna say, Barb?
They also got a law that you being a party to the crime, right? So
Yep.
if you know somebody doing a crime, because if this would have been like, let's say it was a fight and it was just a fight, and I was standing here videoing it, right? I can be charged for not doing anything.
Hmm. If I
So
was selling drugs and you
what?
lived in the house and knew I was selling it, you can get charged for conspiracy because you know I.
So
You know what I mean? So
what
yeah,
I don't understand is
yeah,
how. So these people, you standing back video and put your life in danger when you messing with the police. Well, we all clearly know that.
already right.
And
It's just that we all
Yeah,
clearly.
you
And
right.
I mean, so what? We helpless. Like, you have to sit here and watch a man die because the police have the power to keep you pushed back, and we know that they're doing wrong. Like, come on, man. At what point? I mean, it's kind of like you killing our fathers right in our faces, and it ain't nothing we can do about it. You know how traumatizing? It's almost the slave trauma when they were killing the men in front of the families and the kids to keep
Right.
them at bay. Like, no, this
It's
is just
PTSD. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's PTSD. You're setting up a whole community of people. You have children that you're now making. You're programming these kids to either hate or fear the police. Just like
A
you said,
police
when you
officer.
saw
Yep.
your nephew's what he said. He took off and ran. Just don't even know why, but that it's programmed in them. And when you have a community of people like that that's all suffering from PTSD, this can't get any better. How does it get better? How can that get better? Post-traumatic stress. This is so real. We see the police, we fleeing, we're running, we're froze, we got the fight or flight, and that's so mixed up. This is the
It is.
that's supposed to serve and
That's
protect
it.
us.
Fight
Yeah,
or flight.
we got to use that when with the police, with the authority. Something
right. The
These
people you
cops are
supposed to
getting off.
run to for help.
Right.
These cops
To
are getting
run
off
to.
because the
Now we
people
gotta
that-
run from you.
What you say, Rhonda?
I said the cops are getting off because the people that's reviewing or investigating are them. How are you?
Ah!
How are you
Absolutely.
investigating
The
yourself?
internal affairs, they all together. They don't want it to get any worse. But again, somebody said, I think that was you, Barb, who talked about when something political is happening, they do a lot of distractions. They got to throw a lot of stuff in the people's face to distract you, and they're looking to sway your votes, right? So if we dangle a bunch of black folk are getting murdered in front of them, then we can bring this Joe Biden, Kamala Harris team and say, hey, we're going to protect the black people. But I'm sorry, I don't care who stand up there at that podium. You're all alive. Period. Period.
What you said.
That's just it.
You all lie. All of you.
When I saw them too, I was like, what is that? The devil in disguise and the one in Prada? I don't know. But, I'm just keeping it 100. I see what they're not showing us, though. But I know that the great things are done in plain sight. So whatever is happening, it's right in our face and we don't see it.
Yes.
They're using that as a distraction. It's a distraction.
The thing is, we do see it. We don't want to admit to it because you've been taught a lie your whole life.
Yeah.
Come
You know
on.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, how is it that we're all black, right? But we got an issue with different shades. Like, we've been traumatized so bad, it's written in our DNA. Okay? So you
our
got
ancestors,
trauma
huh?
and you don't even know it. This how trauma, this how much trauma is in our core.
Mm-hmm.
So political situations right now is really irrelevant. Law making is what we need to be looking at. So whether it's Donald Trump or Joe Biden, really, that's what we have to pick from.
Ooh.
So you trying to pick the better of the lesser
I don't even want to talk
of the
about them.
evil. I mean, this is overwhelming.
Yeah.
The choices that we got. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
And the way that they're gaslighting America is so messed up. Like,
thank you.
It's so bad to me. I just look at the way politicians operate now, and I'm just like, I'm so.
And they're trying to really apply the pressure now.
Yeah. And then they visiting the family. Come on.
Huh?
They visiting family. They visiting the family. Like, you don't even come in our hood. You know what I'm saying? But now you visiting the family because you running. Like, come on now. I'm just saying.
Right.
But Jacob Blake's family declined Donald Trump's visitation.
Well, they were trying to make a big deal out of the fact that when Donald Trump spoke, he didn't mention Jacob Blake's family. And I personally thought that was smart on his behalf. Why mention it? What can you say? No matter what you say, it's so sensitive. You can't leave that alone, because what could you say? And so people's like, oh, I'm so surprised he didn't say anything. But if he would have said something, they'd have been like, oh, well, why would he say that? It's like, just
leave it as it is.
But what is the visit going to do? That I don't get it. I mean, okay,
none of that.
Nothing.
Because if they're not talking about changing the law,
I'm just tired of all they lies,
evil
like you just said.
Then what's the point?
I'm tired of voting for all these lies. How about that? I'm tired of voting for all these lies.
All right, you run for office then.
Yeah. That would be the best person.
Man!
I tell you that.
You hear me?
That.
We'll all be black. We black wearing blue.
Jacob Blake is it's not an isolated incident. It's so many incidents. They choose which ones they want to spotlight. And so with that being said,
Wow.
I just have no, I really literally I have no reaction anymore. When I hear about
That's
it,
sad. When you
Desensitized.
become numb to this, huh?
I am.
We become desensitized.
It's the truth.
Like I heard you
Wow.
say,
That's deep.
I'm not even surprised.
That's deep.
I mean, at this
Listen
point,
here. I was riding by my sister's house 2 weeks ago, and I saw the police officer at a corner store with with a black young man, my nephew's age. I hit the block, hit on the corner, and sat there. And I watched them do. And when they left, I said, "Hey, I was here for you." He was like, he said, "That's love, baby. Thank you. That's baby. You gotta come back there and watch.
yeah, baby.
You gotta watch your brothers."
Yeah.
Your black men, so nothing happens to them. I couldn't do a lot, but guess what? I'm gonna sit right here and post and watch you, and that's
Well,
what I did.
since all of this heightened sensitivity with our black and brown people, I started buying. It's called self-defense insurance. The organization that I get it from is called USC. Let me get it right, y'all.
Are you sharing? You gonna share it with our viewers? What you talking about? This self defense?
I gotta go to my email. But what the self-defense insurance is if you have any type of incident. So you call them, they'll bail you out of jail. They got you a lawyer.
Educate us. Come on here.
Because it provides you with firearm training. It provides you with what to say to the police. And you know how the police say, "I fear for my life." Well, you say the same thing. I fear for my life.
Wow.
So
what is it again that you're talking about? What is that?
What is it? Can you share with everyone?
Self-defense insurance. Let me try to get to my email. Are
you able to put up on the screen without providing your personal email?
No, it's in my email.
Okay.
Self-defense insurance. Okay.
Right.
Let me try to go to their website.
I guess we all gonna need that, huh?
Well, if you got a CCW, you should have self-defense insurance, because what if something happened? It's almost like auto insurance. What if something happened? You cover.
Self-defense insurance.
Does
it cover? I'm being funny now. Does it cover mace and my tasers?
Absolutely.
It should.
Okay. It's an incident.
I would say that. Right. I would say that. Yeah.
It's called US.
I love to taste one of them real good.
The organization is USCCA.
What is it?
USCCA.
Okay.
And you can get this a free survival kit, self-defense. Is that correct?
Let me see. Let me go.
Is it
self-defense protection for your peace of mind?
Wow.
More than 465,000 responsible armed Americans trust USCCA get protection. So, let's see. Let me go to what you get. There can be criminal charges and civil suits, even if you prove the shooting was justified. We give you the best legal protection in the industry for as little as $22 per month. If you defend yourself with a gun, don't go without a USCCC membership.
Okay.
Things you get. We teach you what you need to know, from the latest gun laws by state to strategies for avoiding danger in the first place. You'll learn about safe gun handling, the best practices for concealed carry, and the tools and gear you can depend on. If you ever have to defend yourself or your family, you'll have access to, like I said, a local attorney, the financial funding to protect against criminal charges, civil suits, and instant connection to our emergency response team.
Okay. So
I just signed up for that for myself and my husband. for what if.
What if the unknown, huh?
Because okay, here's a testimonial on their site. It said it happened so fast. I never felt so vulnerable in my life. Things happen so fast when you in it.
Yep. I would agree to that. I would
So
agree.
something to check out.
$30 a month, huh? Okay.
So ladies, we're almost at time.
Okay.
We're there. 6:55. That was good though. Thank you for sharing that. I looked that up. That's not high either. The fee. I mean, annually it's like $350 almost a year, but look at all that you get, and it's so much.
These
All
are
right.
the times that we're living in now, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Let's come to these times now.
Yeah. I mean, you got to protect yourself.
That's
The seen and
One
unseen.
final question for you all. Do you all think that since George Floyd's death, that we all have this attitude that we could just do whatever we want, even if we wrong?
I hope not, but
That we as a black people?
Black and brown people?
I don't.
No, I don't. I don't think that we're just going here, having that type of mentality because it happened. No, we're not. I just believe right now we're just trying to, be heard and have the same respect
Yeah.
as the pink people.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's all I'm thinking right now. We just want, a fair, our rights respected as who we are as a black people. Not having, well, yeah, no, we're not. We never, we're not like that before anyways, but
Are we glorifying people who are criminals?
No.
no,
Not
no.
at all. I mean, because for the criminal,
Right is right, wrong is wrong.
right. And
I mean,
it's
because my thing here, are you
criminals.
just, right, my thing here, huh?
Bentley was talking.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I just said, there's a punishment for the criminal. And unfortunately, sometimes the criminal is the police, but they don't get punishment. So, it's not like we're just trying to, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it is what it is. When I hate the way it's set up. It's set up for us to fail as a people. In the presence of the
That's not fair to other people.
Well, it's two justice systems. It's two justice systems. It's one for the black people.
Hey, tell the truth. Shame the devil. Shame the devil.
We're always presumed as being dangerous.
Always. And we're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty.
But you're guilty
but we're guilty because of this here alone.
Exactly.
And that means man, woman, or child.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
These are children. I saw, oh my God, I watched a video where the police, the kid had to be probably 8, 9 years old. They had the kid and they was hog tying the kid. The kid was fighting and somebody was saying, hey, little dude, just stop, just chill out. They gonna kill you.
Oh,
They was screaming out to the kid, they gonna kill you. You little black boy, you think because you a kid, they won't kill you? Yes, they will. Yes, they
have
will.
A child being told that, right, at such an innocent age.
I'm telling
He'll kill you too.
I'm telling you, they was telling him, be still, man, chill out. Because he was like, let me go. I need my mama. He was, doing everything.
Right.
They hog tied him up, put his hands. I mean, and it just looked so bad because he's such a small kid that you done folded this little kid up on the concrete and you've got your knee on him. And he was a kid. And they were screaming, hey, man, chill out. They gonna kill you.
Gosh.
Now, I'm saying, it just got to be some kind of law in place. There has something.
We've given the police too much power. We've given them too much power.
They done took it now. They don't even abide by their own law. They don't. They are above the law.
Making their own laws, right? Outside of a bit, right?
Yeah.
Well, ladies, any closing thoughts? We got 1 minute.
Well, I just want to say, to the families and those who are associated with Jacob Blake, it is an unfortunate thing, but I pray to God that there's something that was learned from this here. There has to, even though It looks the way that it is. It is what it is. And the way that it looks, there still has to be something good that you could take from this. So I pray that the kids, the family, and all of those that are associated, are able to find something good to pull from this, even in the midst of all this bad.
Yeah.
Mocha?
Arrest the cops. Charge the cops.
And period.
Okay, Pooh. Wait, period, Pooh.
I'm trying to play with y'all.
Just arrest the cops.
In closing,
Corporate.
this whole Jacob Blake, when I first saw my thing was right along with yours, Bentley, where you said you hit it right on the head. Like, why was he allowed that much freedom to walk around his car, to open up the car? It just, I think it was an error on both parts.
Yeah.
Okay.
After
viewing it, pushing, watching, right?
I think it was an error on both parts. Now, did he deserve to be shot 7 times? That was a bit.
Not even once.
A bit excessive. Mm-hmm. So I think both parties are going to have to reflect on how that could have went differently.
Exactly. It could
now,
have been different.
I can't say that these cops were racist because
we don't know.
We don't know. I just thank God, Jacob, that you survived those 7 shots. We thank God that God was, was in the midst of this because he spared your life.
That's
George
right.
Floyd, unfortunately, he did not survive. And he wasn't even shot 7 times.
No.
Yeah.
Enough is enough.
Yeah. I'm with you. Well, if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe.
Yeah.
And rock with us. We got we got, what, 3 more months left to this year. I mean, throw this whole year away.
You can't play with my yo-yo. Don't try to play me out. Don't try to play me out.
I'm gonna get you later. All right. Well, God bless you.
All right.
Yeah, you too.
Have a good, and I will see you ladies next week.
All right.
Signing off, viewers. We love you. Bye.
Love you too.